Hey guys, it's me, Olivia.
And it's me, Chow.
And on to Olivia. We haven't been here in a while, but who cares? Like, we have lives.
Yeah.
Just kidding, we don't. We're just lazy.
Yeah, we're just lazy and we don't really hang out as much after school.
So this... Wait, what? I just like... Okay, so... Okay.
And then...
Did that... We just started a video. I have to log them together now.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
It's okay, I'll show you. Anyway.
We're gonna talk trash on people. Because that's what we do.
Yes.
We're not gonna say their names, though.
Yeah, we're not. We'll just make up names for them because...
Yeah, like... We should have story time!
This is gonna be our story time.
Okay, pick the best story to talk about trash.
Yeah.
People. You gonna go first, girl?
Okay.
You go.
So, last summer, I was dating somebody, and we've dated for like in 4th grade, like the whole year. So, anyway, so we dated the last summer again, and so one of my other friends, we're like not friends anymore. She's my ex-friend. So so I let them meet each other and everything, and so we all 3 of us started hanging out. And this is before we started hanging out and everything. So we all started hanging out like every day of the summer. And we would, so one day we went to this park that was right by my house, my old house. And, and, oh my God.
Just go.
Anyway, anyway, so one day we went to this park by my house, my old house, and I had to go home for a little bit to change and wait till my mom got home till I could go back to the park and meet back with them. So they stayed there, and so probably like 30 minutes later, I came back and they were acting kind of strange, but I was just like, oh, whatever, like, it's just
names for them.
Okay, my ex-boyfriend, I'll just call him Joseph. Yeah, let's call him that. And then my ex-friend, let's call her Brittany. Let's call her that. And so Brittany and Joseph, they were acting weird. So I was like, okay. So we went to her house, and we were all hanging out in her room, and so I went to go get some water, and they were in her room. I guess they were talking or whatever. So he got on her back, like, because like she was giving him a piggyback ride in her room, and so they almost kissed. And I almost came in. She was like, she dropped him, and she's like, yeah, but I didn't see anything, so I was like, oh, hey guys, what you guys doing? And they're like, nothing, just gave him a piggyback ride. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so we took pictures and everything on her bed. Like, we were just like really bored, so we took pictures. And the next thing I know, I didn't know they were holding hands behind my back. So, me and him were holding hands, and then he had one of his hands, like, behind him, and she was, like, right beside him, on the other side of him, and apparently they were holding hands secretly. And so after he left that day, after he left her house, and it was only me and her there, she left her room, and she started crying. So I was like, what happened? She's like, okay, you might want to sit down and, like, get a pillow. And she got a pillow, she gave it to me. And then she gave me, like, a whole bunch of tissues. And she's like, yeah, you're gonna need all of these stuff. And oh, no. No. And so we were like, so I was like, okay, what's wrong? I know something is wrong. She's like, okay. So she starts bawling her eyes out. She's like, okay, so I
know that person.
Oh. Okay, so we
that was a girl.
Yeah.
At one point.
Oh. Okay, anyway. So she told me everything. She's like, yeah, we almost kissed and we held hands. and he rubbed my back and like started nibbling on my ear and stuff. And I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything. I'm like, well, why didn't you just stop him? Like, what the heck? And I ran to the bathroom, I locked myself in there, and I just bawled my eyes out and screamed into that pillow she gave me, and I got mascara all over, which was pretty funny. But anyway, she was like, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just don't even talk to me right now. I was so mad at the point, like, I felt like I was gonna kill myself. I was just like, in such a horrible pain, and it was just bad. So she, oh my god. Anyway, oh okay. So she was just jealous. She was jealous of my relationship with him, that she had to go ruin it. So she took my phone, and she called him. She's like, I'll call him. And I'm like, okay. And so I was crying. I just couldn't even talk at all. I was just like, whatever, you know. And so I got so mad at him, and she called him. She was like, what you did today was so uncalled for, and you should not have done that, because you know what, you broke Child's heart and stuff. And I'm like,
she did it too.
Yeah, she did it too, so what the heck? And so he was like, what? Let me talk to her. And so she handed me the phone, and he could hear that I was crying in the background. He was like, oh my gosh, Chow, I did not do any of that stuff, and blah blah blah, like, you know, most guys say. And so she was like, she took back the phone. She was like, yeah, I don't think she wants to talk to you right now. So yeah. And then his friend gets on the phone, and he's like, okay, Dominic's starting to cry now because I just said his real name. Okay, forget I said that. Okay, Joseph is starting to cry. So so Joseph is trying to cry. Is about to cry.
You were just.
She just drooled everywhere.
Because I was laughing. Okay, stop. Oh, it does. It's on my.
Anyway. Okay,
Ew.
so she made us, like, a whole bunch of stuff happened, but I can't really remember. Anyway, so the next day she made me go meet up with him, and so the four of us went to Santa Cafe. So his friend, Brittany, and me. So we all went to the cafe, and so it was just like a long distance, like it was just like a long silence, because we would look at each other, and I would just look away because I was really mad. Like, I was just like, I can't even handle this anymore. Like, oh my gosh. So she's like, you guys need to make up, okay? I'm like, dude, really? I'm mad at him. How can I just forgive him just like that? Like, really? That's really stupid. And so yeah, but later on we ended up. Later on I ran off, and I just went on a walk, and then his friend ran after me and was like, "Dude, why'd you do that?" And so he held my hand. He tried holding my hand. I was like, "Dude, why are you trying to hold my hand right now? Like, I don't like you that way, and that's just nasty." And so Joseph saw through the glass, and he was like, "What?" He stood.
Can I send these videos to you so you can collab them?
Nah, it's okay. Anyway, so we started. So he stood up. He was like, and so I looked over. I'm like, oh my gosh! I pulled my hand away because I was just like fed up with everything that day. So he walked out of the cafe, like coming close to me. I'm like, no, and I ran off, and I went to that park that was by my house, or my old house. And so Brittany called me. She's like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, at the park. She's like, okay, I'm gonna be there in a minute. I'm like, okay. And so she came, and then she sat down, and I was like bawling my eyes out because I saw Brittany and Joseph hugging, and it just bothered me so much because like I felt like something was going on between them, like, yeah. Anyway, so she came and then I sat there. She was sitting there like, I'm sorry, and I'm like bawling my eyes out. And then he comes, of course. He comes and he's like, I'm sorry, and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna talk to you. And he texts me like, it's like right in front of me. He's like, are you mad at me? I'm like, what do you think? Of course I'm mad. Like, really? And so, but later on, we ended up making up that day. So making out. Anyway, so we made up and everything was good. So.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway, we we ended up breaking up soon because I let her words get to my head, and like she's the whole reason why I actually broke up with him. So it's really stupid that I let myself believe what she said was true. So Joseph, if you're watching this, sorry.